Hello, and welcome to The C Show. I'm Charlie.
I'm Connor.
And I'm Jared.
A new friend here on The C Show. As we transition into this new era of covering AEW, and Connor has some responsibilities this fall as he coaches football, we wanted to bring in another voice to just make sure we're moving and grooving here on The C Show. So bringing in our friend Jared. And I wanted to ask, before we get started here, Jared, what's your background with wrestling?
Of course. I mean, first of all, thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited. Mm-hmm. Growing up, wrestling, specifically back in the day, WWF, then WWE, was just a big part of my life. Me, my older brother, my dad still watches to this day, my cousins. Anytime we would all be together, mm-hmm. we were traveling to New York with our wrestling action figures. We were sitting down up in the room. Mm-hmm. We were trading. We were putting together cards. It was always, just a fun thing. It was always around. I mm-hmm. grew up in Allentown, Pennsylvania, which is a huge history of training and wrestlers coming from there. Mm-hmm. So it was always there. I definitely fell out of it a little bit. But recently I've started taking another look. AEW is new to me, but mm-hmm. comes with, a lot of cool new stuff that I'm just excited to learn more about and just get back into.
Yeah, no, I'm really excited for you to join us, so thank you again. And again, like Jared said, there are a lot of new things with AEW here, so just a quick top-level view here. First off, shows are Dynamite on Wednesday night. That's really the flagship program, and then Collision is on Saturday nights. Connor, do you know what the theme for Collision is?
No, I do not.
Really? It's Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting by Elton John. Again, we are leading up here in AEW to another PLE pay-per-view. It's a collaboration event they have with New Japan Pro Wrestling. We'll talk about that later when we preview Forbidden Door later in the episode. But again, I just want to remind everybody about another exciting opportunity. We are proud to announce that we are proud sponsors of Bell to Bell's Saved by the Bell, happening Saturday, September 20th, 2025 at the Monster Factory in Paulsboro, New Jersey. Our sponsorship includes Chrissy Rivera, Savannah Khan, Julie Rogan, Jess Sky, and Ref Gina. We will hopefully be getting them all on the podcast in some form or another soon. Tickets are available at belltobell.com/contact. That first bell is with an E, BELLE. General admission tickets start at just $16.88. That's $15 and $1.88. Processing fee. However, if you give at least $5 to the show through Ko-Fi Coffee, ko-fi.com/cshowpod, you'll be entered to win 2 general admission tickets with VIP upgrades. So be joining myself, some special guests. We'll be able to get to meet the wrestlers before the show. Connor, Jared, anything else before we get started here?
I'm very excited for this new chapter. AEW is definitely a change of pace, and again, I was watching it with my wife, like I do, and we both noticed a marked difference, kind of whether it's in the production and the matches. Mm-hmm. Charlie and I talked a little bit off mic about some of the differences, and I'm just very excited for this new era of us.
Yeah, indeed. There's some really exciting things happening here on The C Show. Hello, and welcome back to The C Show. I'm Charlie.
I'm Connor.
And I'm Jared.
And again, this is a new era for us, beginning with AEW. We're talking about Dynamite on August 13th. We are in Cincinnati, Ohio. Dynamite was broadcast live. Collision, I believe, was recorded right afterwards. Same event in Cincinnati at the Brady Music Center. Our commentary team is Excalibur, Taz, and Tony Schiavone. Okay. Schiavone. Gosh, damn it. Tony Schiavone. Did I fuck that up again?
You didn't change how you said
Tony
it.
Baloney.
Tony Schiavone.
Schiavone. Our commentary team is Excalibur, Taz, and Tony Schiavone.
Whatever gets him there.
Keep it in. Excalibur's a Lucha Libre legend. He wears a mask entirely on commentary. Taz, the human suplex machine and ECW legend. And again, Tony Schiavone here, our color commentary guy. The show begins with MJF. Did you guys see him hock a loogie into the crowd?
No, I missed that.
That's an OSHA violation. MJF had been feuding with Delaware's own Mark Briscoe leading up to AEW's All In. He's hot off of Happy Gilmore too, but out comes Hangman Adam Page, the AEW World Champion. The really interesting thing about this feud of Page and MJF facing off is MJF references this, but they're the homegrown stars, the homegrown hero and the homegrown villain of AEW. They're both sort of day one guys. They've grown with the promotion from guys in the middle of everything to the faces of the promotion. MJF, especially a guy that, in our orbit, especially that we've recognized and we've noticed. Page recently at AEW All In, winning the championship. They face off in the middle of the ring. MJF warns him, here's the deal, Seabiscuit. But Page reminds him, your edgelord B-movie villain incel shtick is tired. Page wants him to execute his Casino Gauntlet contract. We'll talk more about the Casino Gauntlet format shortly here. But the contract that MJF won at All In is similar to Money in the Bank. It guarantees him a match against the world champion for that title. MJF kicks out the mic. He wants one that Page hasn't touched. MJF isn't the problem. Hangman is the problem, but Hangman did nothing wrong. They treat you like you're infallible, like you're perfect. Well, screw you and screw your God. You're a weak-minded, depressed, alcoholic little boy. MJF is going to crucify Hangman on PPV. Max currently doesn't have a match set up at Forbidden Door. Contract is set for any place, any time. Page reminds him, you won't take your shot because you are afraid. You want an insurance policy because you don't have what it takes to take it away from Hangman. Hangman basically goads MJF into executing the contract. He will execute the contract at Forbidden Door. His face is so red.
Hangman also wanted to remind everyone in the middle when he was dunking on MJF's in-shell shtick that he's like, Seabiscuit won, idiot.
Seabiscuit did win the Triple Crown.
There was a movie and everything.
The whole movie. Did you see the sign that said MJF cheers to the Browns?
I did not.
What a shame. I will see you at Forbidden Door, dumbass. Jon Moxley, formerly known as Dean Ambrose in the WWE, he's been feuding with Darby Allin, who climbed Mount Everest. Just a reminder, folks, he climbed Mount Everest, the tallest mountain in the world. Darby Allin last week had kidnapped Wheeler Yuta and zipped him in a body bag and then stapled a note that said Forbidden Door on it. Can you guys guess which Philadelphia area university Wheeler Yuta attended?
He's a Drexel guy, isn't he?
He is from the House of No-Go, Villanova.
Ugh.
Drew Gulak went to Drexel. He's the Drexel guy.
Go Dragons.
I can't agree with that either.
Yeah, you don't know. You could go across the river. How about that?
How about that?
This leads into Jon Moxley versus Kevin Knight. What's your guys' move of the matches here?
I loved Kevin Knight. Kevin the Jet Knight, as they say, came out with Speedball Mike Bailey, former DPW guy, shout out. But my move was when Knight really lives up to his nickname of the Jet and launched himself over the ropes for a crazy crossbody, right? He was throwing his body around all night, sometimes for better, sometimes for worse, like when he tried to do another dive and Moxley just stepped to the side and threw him into the guardrail.
Oh, yeah, he lands right into the barricade, too. Oofta.
But that was my move of the match. Threw himself around, got crazy height, right? Willing just to put it all out there.
What about you, Jared?
Oh, My favorite is the biting.
Mm-hmm.
They notably they both bit each other. There
Yes.
was an initial bite by Moxley and then a retaliatory bite by the Jet. The Jet wins it for me. I think it was a tighter bite. I think he had a good grip on his forearm. I think he left indentation.
But didn't break skin.
No, there was no full Tyson moment. There was just enough. It was a good, solid bite.
After Mox does some sadistic stuff on the ropes, Knight sets up for the superplex from the top rope. Knight has an incredible sequence that's ruined by the most half-assed kick out that I've ever seen. Knight goes over the turnbuckles on Mox, and Knight hits a DDT on Mox. Goes up for the splash, but Mox is there with the knees right to Knight's ribs. Knight hits a DDT on Mox, goes up for the splash, but Mox is there with the knees right to Knight's ribs. Mox put Knight's into the sleeper hold. Knight taps out, and Mox holds on. Mike Bailey, Knight's tag team partner, comes to break it up, but Wheeler Yuta comes in to take out Speedball. Darby Allin is at Gorilla with a body bag and a skateboard. Knight attacks Mox again. Yuta gets a skateboard to the face and a kickflip to the bag. And my move of the match is Allin putting Yuta in the body bag. While another member of Death Riders, Moxley's stable, Claudio Castagnoli, attacks. Claudio gets Yuta out of the bag and then suplexes him into the bag. Allin, now getting a taste of his own medicine. Claudio takes Darby Allin for a spin before crashing him to the mat. Yuta brings in a chair, but Will Ospreay's here now. Ospreay to the clothesline to Yuta and Claudio. Moxley back to the ring. Will wants to snap Moxley's neck as revenge for trying to break his. Will get his friends. Moxley brings his. At Forbidden Door, it's on. Lights out steel cage match.
And a lights out match in AEW means that it's not sanctioned, right? The promotion does not officially support it. We'll just let it happen on our biggest event and, to all broadcast all across the world, but we don't support this.
We don't support this at all, not at all. And we're doing this with another promotion, not a big deal or nothing. Speaking of big deals, you guys like movies, right?
Oh, I love them.
You love them? You like going to the movies?
Oh, yeah, I'm a big fan. I am a AMC A-list member.
Really? An AMC A-list member in our midst?
AMC, they make movies better, and I'm there frequently.
Well, it's a good thing that you're already there frequently because we have a deal for anybody that wants to join you at the movies. If you go to our link in the description, you can get a deal for 40% off AMC tickets. What's at the movies right now? I just saw The Naked Gun on Saturday. I go see it now before it's out of theaters. It's Charlie approved. Weapons is also in theaters.
I saw Naked Gun. I saw Weapons. I saw Together. Weapons, incredible. I've seen about a dozen movies this summer. That was my movie of the summer.
Oh, really?
It is not too scary. It is funny.
Oh.
It is a good movie. I had a great time.
Zach Kreger, the writer-director, famously of the Whitest Kids You Know sketch comedy troupe.
Yes, notably seen walking around parks with a gallon of PCP.
So two movies that I also want to talk about here that are coming out as re-releases. We have The 40-Year-Old Virgin, the 20th anniversary. Unfortunately, it is probably just the theatrical cut. But if you want to cry laughing in a movie, the waxing scene should do it for you. And then I will certainly be using the code to see this. But Jaws, 50th anniversary. Go see Jaws on the big screen. It's worth it. But using this deal directly supports the show. So visit linktr.ee/cshowpod or click on the link in the description to access this deal on behalf of your friends at the C Show. T's and C's apply. Please make sure to read the fine print. Speaking of fine print, we've got Cope and Stokely. Adam Copeland, formerly known as Edge in the WWE, is a big face here in AEW. Recently, he's been feuding here with FTR and their manager, Stokely. Last week, Cope speared Stokely. Stokely was injured. FTR, the tag team, is not allowed ringside in an upcoming match of Cope versus Stokely. Leading into this next match is Mercedes Moné, Thekla, and Sky Blue versus Alex Windsor, Queen Aminata, and Willow Nightingale. Jesus, Mercedes, do you have enough belts?
Never.
Spectating this match are two champions. Timeless Toni Storm, our AEW Women's Champion. And across the balcony is Athena, the Ring of Honor Women's Champion. So they'll be spectating this as the winners here will be facing off against them at Forbidden Door and in the future. The one thing that I do want to mention here before we get started about the action is that Tony Schiavone does mention that AEW is opening tickets. I mean, I don't hear anybody chant or wear shirts that just says WWE on it. So I feel pretty good about that. What are your guys' move of the matches here?
For me, it was when Queen Amanita hit a spinning Bubba Bomb. Mm-hmm. So put them in a full Nelson, right under the arms, right? Both hands locked behind the neck, right? Spin out, then basically sit out with it, having them fall on their ass. Like, she just looked so powerful doing it, like to pick another person up so smoothly, spin and just drop them. It was unbelievable.
What about you, Jared?
Anytime somebody's going to go out there and use the caboose from Rikishi to now, that's going to win me over. If you got it, use it. So, Queen Amanita's chocolate kisses, fantastic. 10 out of 10.
It's like Stephanie Vicare's Devil's Kiss, but you get pink eye.
And I also refuse to believe that this wasn't going to be Charlie's move of the match. My note literally says, QA hits the chocolate kisses, parentheses, stares at Charlie intently.
Sorry, Mom. This is a great match. I really loved this. So did Toni Storm. After Windsor almost got the pin on Mercedes Moné. Windsor puts Monet into the sharpshooter, but Sky Blue attacks. Sky Blue gets a DDT on Willow Nightingale, and Windsor puts Sky Blue into a sharpshooter, and Blue taps out. Athena attacks the champ, Toni Storm, in the balcony. The brawl continues in the ring. After the dust clears, it's Monet and Windsor. Monet about to use the title on Windsor. Tony and Athena come out from a gorilla. Windsor clothesline. Tony gets the mic, challenges Monet and Athena to a tag team match with Windsor. My move of the match, Tony says, we're going to bareback you all over Glasgow. Tony Khan made it official. Forbidden Door, a week from today when we're recording, Sunday, August 24th. Speaking of Forbidden Door, Will Ospreay and Renee Paquette are backstage. Will finally confirms that it will be a lights-out cage match. Tony Khan was not thrilled about it. He did not know about this stipulation. Will wanted to just blow the door open. He will be bringing in his friend Hiroshi Tanahashi from New Japan Pro Wrestling. Will is not worried about his herniated discs and wants to see Renee's husband, Jon Moxley, after the show. Back to the middle of the ring, we've got Cope versus Stokely. Big Stoke does not want to fight Cope at all.
So he wants to fight him so little that security actually has to bring him out and damn near throw him in the ring.
Just drag him out. After Stoke speared Cope twice, nothing happens. Cope punches Stokely, then takes him out of the ring, smacking him against the barricade. My move of the match here is Cope asking various audience members about Stoke. He asks one male audience member, the male audience member says, he's short, he's bald, and he gets no hose. A female audience member is asked if Big Stoke can get with her, and she says, absolutely not. What are your guys' move of the match before we get into the finale here?
My move of the match was definitely the crowd work. It was unexpected. And again, the woman being like, is that a real question? I was like, for a second, I was like, wait, is she going to say yes anyway? Just because she's like, is that an actual question? And then I'm like, that had to be a plant, right? To my wife, she's like, had to be a plant, right? And we both had a moment
Probably.
Who knows?
Just enjoy things. What about you, Jared?
I mean, that was some of the best crowd work I've seen in a long time. I wrote down 3 things. Mm-hmm. Short, bald, no hose.
No hose. Don't call me out like that. FTR does show up.
You're not short.
FTR shows up. They do have a restraining order that's put against them on Cope. If they interfere, Cope can just attack them. Cope spears Big Stoke, just pin him. The crowd wants more, though. Cash goes over the rope. Dax gets speared. Cope really just wanted FTR. Did you see the sign in the back that said Dax wears TC Tuggers? But Cope has a secret in his pocket. It's pocket sand.
Sha. What, Stokely, right?
Stokely is his legitimate name. It's his shoot name and his stage name. But then they also call him Stoke and Big Stoke.
I thought you said Cope had pocket sand. I'm like, no, Cope did not. Okay, my bad. My apologies.
Did I say? Well, Stokely threw pocket sand. Cope is advised against using the microphone because those are expensive. FTR setting up Cope, but Christian Cage comes out with Spike. Nick Wade appears with a chair. Christian and Wade face off, and Wade gets the concerto. Holy shit, indeed. Cope and Christian face off. Christian gives Spike a spiked bat back to Cope, and they hug. Their first alliance, returning to an alliance for the first time since 2011 in the WWE.
You know, the WWE said they were brothers, quickly retcon that, but, you know, brothers don't shake hands. Brothers hug!
Aww. I don't have an aw on the soundboard, so you get the guitar riff. One thing that differs in AEW here, before we get into the next match, AEW loves group tag team matches, right? So not just 2-on-2, but 3-on-3. They literally have a trios title in the men's division, but they also love 4-on-4 tag team matches here. As we get into the Young Bucks, Kyle Fletcher, the TNT champion, and Josh Alexander versus Brody King, Hologram, Hiromu Takahashi, and Tomohiro Ishii. The Young Bucks come out. They want their music back. They are unhappy. Jobbers, jobbers, jobbers. The crowd yells at them. Reminder, a jobber is somebody that loses on purpose. They're like the Washington Generals of wrestling. What are your guys' move of the match here?
My move of the match was when Josh Alexander absolutely plants Takahashi on the apron with the slam, right? Apron known to be the hardest part of the ring, and it was audibly the hardest part of the ring on that slam.
Thunk. What about you, Jared?
I just love the Young Bucks combo moves. Mm-hmm. Getting to see two guys in the ring working perfectly in tandem on some of those moves. There was more than one. The whole match was just filled with awesome combos.
Yeah, no, they were phenomenal. Absolutely. My move of the match was Hologram's 450, but broken up by Fletcher's knees. We get a stereo super kick by the Bucks on Hologram on the apron. We get Connor's move of the match here, Alexander driving Takahashi into the apron from the top rope. But after the break, Hiromu drop kicks Fletcher and nearly gets the pin opportunity. The Young Bucks have an insane running suplex move on Hiromu, and then Fletcher comes in. Fletcher almost gets the pin. Alexander spiked by Takahashi in an insane move. Brody King comes back in, goes for the self-harm dive against Kyle Fletcher, but Slick Nick is there over the top rope thanks to help from Matt of the Young Bucks. Hologram moonsault off the top rope to the floor. Alexander drops the straps, but Hiromu drops Alexander, and it's over. 1, 2, 3. Checking with the referee just to make sure. What a match.
Chubby King's win. I mean, that's who I'm here for.
Mm-hmm. That's the new title of the podcast, right?
I think so, yeah. I think that's the title of the episode.
That's what I had written down. It's my summation of the match. Chubby King's win.
That's awesome. Renee Paquette welcomes out Swerve Strickland. Swerve is to face Kazuchika Okada for the unified title at Forbidden Door. Kazuchika Okada very confusingly holds like 3 belts in AEW right now. He has the Intercontinental title. He has an international title, and then he's got another title as well. But the only thing on Swerve's mind are not his medical issues. They're not going to stand in his way. It's just getting on that title. Okada comes out after the crowd chants for Swerve's house. With Swerve's knee, he's got no chance. Okada warns, you may as well give up. Okada calls him a bitch and Swerve fights back. Security comes out. The crowd chants, let them fight, let them fight, let them fight. Moxley being interviewed, he got assigned Hiroshi Tanahashi, and he's not happy about that. The Death Riders meet with the Young Bucks backstage, the door closed on the camera, a la Godfather 1. Tony Schiavone addresses us in the middle of the ring, matches for Forbidden Door. Again, Forbidden Door is co-produced PPV with New Japan Pro Wrestling. We get Copeland and Cage versus Nick Wayne and Kip Sabian. Death Riders, Gabe Kidd, and the Young Bucks versus Darby Allin, Tanahashi, Ospreay, Oman, and Ibushi. Next up, our main event of the evening, the Ops, the World Trios champion, Samoa Joe, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Katsuyori Shibata. My Japanese folks, it's a little rusty. Versus La Facción Ingobernal, which is Rush, the Beast Mortos, and Dralistico. Jeez. Making me work.
Ingobernable. The ungovernable faction.
Yes. What a phenomenal name. What are your guys' move of the match here in our main event?
Mine is the finish, so I'll wait and I'll let you guys go first.
Jared, tell us, because mine is also the finish.
I think it might be as well.
Okay, we're all unanimous here. Rush and Shibata are in a chop and punch fight. It's incredible. Shibata hits Rush with the leg sweep. Samoa Joe flips in and immediately goes against Dralistico, drops him outside of the ring. Joe puts him in a coquina clutch, and the ref calls it. What an incredible move by Samoa Joe. I was thinking about it. I was like, I don't know how to watch this. There aren't any Samoans. And then Samoa Joe came out. I was like, okay, this is familiar. I like this now. This is, I was wondering where the Samoans were. They're all in WWE.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm
right. Looking to riff with Connor here.
I got you. Look, I'm a big Samoa Joe. I've loved him back from TNA, back from, when they were doing the weird things of having him get kidnapped by ninjas, and when he didn't lose for like 1,000 years straight, when he was still doing the muscle buster before he broke that guy's neck. Like,
he broke a guy's neck?
Yeah, ended a guy's career.
Oh my God.
Tyson Kidd?
Yeah, that sounds familiar. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I love Samoa Joe. He's so fun to watch. And then I've been meaning to watch it, but he is the clown. He's the body double for the clown in Twisted Metal on Peacock. A different actor comes in to voice him, but Samoa Joe is the body for it, which is really awesome. He does all the physical performance for it, which is really cool. But this was an awesome match. This was just one where I was just like trying to sit and just kind of watch it and just kind of like understand what's going on and how it's all presented in AEW and how everything's moving. The thing that I gotta say, I mean, Dynamite is according to Wikipedia, the A show, right? That's the A show, and then there's Collision, which is the B show, and then there's us, the C show.
Ba-boom.
Did you guys have anything else to say? Fuck, no, actually, we did have other things to talk about. Keep it in. Because the show's not over. Back in the garage, Hangman is being interviewed by Renee. MJF signed the contract, but MJF attacks. And he says, "Show me that cowboy shit." Slams him into a car. Hangman had no clue he was caught off guard.
Beat him up. Also, just to confirm, that submission was all of our move of the match, right?
Yes, it was.
Okay,
yeah, the coquina clutch.
The coquina clutch.
Shout out to him for not tapping out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the pass out spot's always great.
Yeah, the pass out spot's awesome.
Be tough.
I mean, it's all fake anyways. So again, before we get into it, just a quick rundown. Dynamite is the A show. Collision is the B show. And we are the C show. Welcome back to the C Show. Everyone, shut up. Shut up. The Queen is talking. Cincinnati sickos, lend me your ear. Timeless Tony Storm, she comes out first. She gives Athena her flowers. But unfortunately, holy shit, you are annoying. You're just a minion overlord, which is not an IP of Warner Brothers. See, this is why Toni Storm is so great, because she gets it. She gets it. You call yourself a fallen god. Even God said, holy shit, you are annoying. Toni literally gets down on her knees and prays to Athena. She prays that she will be living on a budget airline with marks all over her butt. But Athena attacks and knocks Toni out of her heels. Did you see that?
I did, because we were watching, and Lid went, why doesn't she have shoes on? And then like they moved the camera, and it's like, oh, there are her shoes.
I thought it was like Speedball Mike Bailey, right? Where he doesn't wrestle with shoes on. And I was like, did she just come out without heels on? Oh, she got knocked out of her heels. The world champion getting double teamed. Athena warns, you want to pray, Toni. Pray that I don't expose you for the fraud that you are, that I don't tell these people what an idiot you are. Athena's minions drag Toni to the ring, and Athena warns that Toni's days are numbered. Is it time for Timeless to become forever? But, I mean, I don't want to get into the semantics of it, but okay, whatever. But Mina Shirakawa comes out, and Toni takes this opportunity to suplex Billy, one of Athena's minions, and Toni thanks Mina Shirakawa. I figured Lid had something to say about Mina Shirakawa.
No, Lid did not have anything in specific to say. The only other thing I want to add to that is that like they kind of corner Athena, and when she jumps off the stage and security catches her was fantastic.
I didn't see that, but that
oh
is
really?
awesome.
Oh yeah, she literally like and then just turns and runs and jumps off the stage. And I was like, what is she doing? And then there's like 4 security people to like catch her and then like escort her out.
That's rad. That's rad. But what a great way to start the show on a Saturday night with Toni Storm. We lead into an MJF Hangman Page pre-tape. And again, this is a great feud for C-Show fans to jump right into. Adam Page just beat Moxley for the AEW title. MJF is the ultimate heel, really doing El Grande Americano better than WWE is. But speaking of Jon Moxley, we've got the Death Riders versus Jet Speed, which is, again, we mentioned this earlier, but it's Speedball Mike Bailey and Kevin Knight. I mean, early Jet Speed prove that's why they're named. That's why they're named that. It's just perfect stereo choreography from the pair. Incredible way to start the match for those two. What are your guys' move of the matches here?
My move of the match is so Jet Speed did a move where Knight ran up and did essentially like the Frankensteiner, wrapped his legs around and tossed Yuta down directly into a power bomb from Speedball, only for it to, again, I thought that was going to be the finish. I bid on that, but that move was so slick.
What about you?
Oh, I absolutely loved it. Bailey got his foot stepped on, and then that led into a perfect Karate Kid moment.
The crane kick?
With the crane kick.
If done right, no can defend.
I haven't seen that movie. I haven't seen that movie in forever. My move of the match is a little bit earlier in the match. Mox puts Knight into an armbar in the corner, then tags in Yuta to deliver a devastating kick to the ribs. After Yuta kicks out later in the match, Marina looks scared and pulls Knight out after the pin on Yuta, but Speedball throws her into the steps. Yuta, going up for the kick on Knight, hits Moxley instead. Speedball with a spinning kick. Kevin Knight with an insane spinning splash. Say that 7 times fast. Mox hits a German suplex outside the ring on Speedball, and Yuta bridges Knight for the pin to win 1, 2, 3. Shivani mentions the Death Riders barely survive Jet Speed and run into the crowd. Wheeler Yuta Villanova trash. You guys peeped the Outrunners music video, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what to call it. I put music montage, and then my only other note is that they had a tiny frog, or probably a tiny toad at one point.
Ribbit.
One thing I wanted to say from that music video is there was a moment where he threw a frisbee, terrible form. As an avid disc sport fan, they had to do a jump cut just so they didn't have to show the flight path or the other guy catching it. Now, you might call that nitpicky. Ruined it for me.
That's what this show is all about, Jared. So you're fitting right in. I was looking this up with the Outrunners. It's Truth Magnum and Turbo Floyd. Their whole thing is we're just guys from the 80s. We just like doing 80s wrestler stuff. God bless America. This is all we're looking for here. It's fabulous. They do the VHS filter over everything. The 4:3 aspect ratio, phenomenal. Love it. Next up, we've got Ricochet versus Ace Austin. Honey, we have Gambit at home. So the Great Value X-Man, Ace Austin versus Ricochet, a bald man. The crowd roasts Ricochet for being bald. One point I did see all of the bald guys up in the crowd going, bald, 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 and pointing at their heads. That will be me soon enough. What are your guys' move of the matches here? Moves of the match.
Yeah, I was gonna say there were two things I loved. In the beginning, Ricochet was like trying to be like Steve Austin, right? A little bit. I assume, just pulling on the, oh, you want a bald wrestler? Like, right, does like the flopping the double birds and like dropping the elbow, right? And all that. But my actual move of the match is Ricochet hits a 619 while Ace Austin is like on the turnbuckle, which was really cool. Just a different way to do it. And it was sick. It was smooth. I don't even like Ricochet that much, but it was smooth.
Yeah, no, I missed that, but that's awesome. I love a 619. What you, Jared?
I didn't have anything specific written down, but I just loved how fast Ace Austin got started. I mean, he came in like a bundle of energy.
Yeah.
They said Ricochet's a fast fighter, but Ace was making him look, slow. He was bringing it today.
It was a good match. After Ace gets out of a pin opportunity, Ricochet's henchmen are now here to cause shenanigans. A brainbuster by Ricochet, a shooting star splash. After Ace's pin attempt, Ricochet comes in with a mean knee, and Ace runs up the apron off the top rope Meteora. An insane move. Ricochet calls a shot. The spirit gun from the corner. Pew! 1, 2, 3. A pin on Ace Austin, and his cronies slam Ace one more time. Backstage, Renee is with the Hurt Syndicate. Have you heard the Hurt Syndicate theme yet?
No, I don't think so.
Holy shit. I should have put in the...
We break rules, we break checks, we break arms, we break legs.
But, it is by Smoke DZA and West Side Gun. And the best part is during the chorus, especially when they come in, it's basically the melody is, we hurt people, we hurt people, we hurt people. And the Leah Chorus Center earlier this April when I was there and the Hurt Syndicate came out. So much fun. But yes, they're being interviewed by Renee Paquette backstage. What were you saying, Connor?
Yeah, I just got a wave of like WWE nostalgia, right? All three of these guys, right? Montel Porter, who went by MVP in WWE, Shelton Benjamin and Bobby Lashley, all had guys that had, decently long careers in WWE. So to see all of them in AEW, and especially all of them together on one team, made the heart feel good.
And it's Shelton Benjamin, right? He was supposed to be in the NFL, and then he was shot in the knee.
So
he was like breaking up a fight.
So Bobby Lashley was he was an Olympic level wrestler, and then injured his knee stopping a robbery.
Jeez, incredible. But MVP speaking for Shelton and Bobby, they say MVP says Shelton Benjamin and Bobby Lashley are the best. MJF, who had previously tried to ally himself with the Hurt Syndicate, is not a distraction. The Hurt Syndicate are tag team champions and will remain tag team champions. Speaking of champions, we all have furry friends in our lives, right?
Yes.
And we want them to be happy, healthy, right? What if I told you that we have a deal for you? The Farmer's Dog is a service that delivers gently cooked, freshly made pet food with balanced recipes, guided by science and driven by love. It's human-grade dog food for your family's furriest members. How it works is you build your plan. Simply tell them a little bit about your dog, and they will create a plan with personalized portions to meet their unique nutritional and caloric needs. Then you'll try it out. You'll get your first box with up to 2 weeks of freshly made food. And if you and your dog love it, you're all set. You'll start receiving boxes of food automatically whenever you're running low. You get free and flexible deliveries, nationwide shipping across the U.S., eco-friendly packaging, and around-the-clock customer service. Again, if you order now through the link in the show description, you'll get 50% off your first box. Remember, if you use our link, linktr.ee/cshowpod, or click on the link in the description, you're directly supporting the C Show. Thanks, and back to the show. Next up, we've got Lee Johnson and Blake Christian versus the Paragon of Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong. Before Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong come out, they get interviewed and are approached by Hologram and Tomohiro Ishii. Kyle says that he and Hologram are going to go to Skyline Chili, get the cheap pop from the crowd. You know, at the beginning of this, it's just, you know, Johnson and Christian just get dominated by Paragon. It's just a very technical beatdown. What are your guys' moves of the match here?
My move of the match was Kyle O'Reilly hitting a huge knee on the apron.
Mm-hmm.
I just really like it. As we've been watching, there's a lot more, it seems like, emphasis kind of like on the striking, right, in these AEW matches, and there have been some absolutely beautiful... They don't look worked, so they're either very good at them or they're like, hey, just make it look good and we'll touch up later. Like,
for sure. What about you, Jared?
I don't know if I have a specific moment. I just liked watching Roderick Strong take over.
Yeah,
just go berserker, beast mode against two guys. That was impressive.
Yeah, my move of the match was Blake Christian getting caught by Roderick Strong and then bounced off of Kyle O'Reilly's knees. And it was just like very clear, like, these are two guys that know, like, the paragon of Roderick Strong and Kyle O'Reilly. They're two older guys. I believe O'Reilly's 38, Roderick Strong's 42. Johnson and Christian obviously look a lot younger. This is really just a learning opportunity for the two of them. And boy, did they get some learning done. Lee Johnson gets a backbreaker, and Paragon is just now back to brutalizing these youngsters. Blake Christian fighting back and runs right into Roderick Strong's knee. It's a high to low from Paragon on Blake Christian. 1, 2, 3, and it's over. I loved that high and low move. So they do a high chop and then a low move on the ankles. Boom, pin to win. 1, 2, 3. It's over. Hologram and Ishii from the conglomeration are here to provide their support after the match for the Paragon. But yeah, another incredible match, and Roderick Strong really, really showed that he is not to be messed with here in this match. Backstage, Brody King attacks FTR, and they fight backstage and rock through Gorilla. Stokely running down the ramp. King tosses both members of FTR and rips Cash Wheeler's shirt off. There's the Irish whip into Dax Harwood, and then King slams them in the corner. Stoke grabs King's ankle. Stoke once again had pocket sand, and Harwood gives Big Stoke a mask while Stoke addresses the camera. Backstage, Skyflight addresses the camera. This was another moment where I was like, this is very WWE because it's just backstage in a very random space of this backstage area. It's 6 people talking to the camera very confusingly. Leela Gray has to make her donation to the swear jar during the promo because she says that they're going to fuck up another team in Scotland.
$5 to the swear jar.
Here's 10 because that's bullshit.
We have, speaking of the swear jar, we have a $100,000 4-way match between Chris Statlander, Julia Hart, Penelope Ford, and Anna Jay. Before you ask, Julia Hart is not a member of the Hart Wrestling Dynasty, and Penelope Ford is from Philly. She's a Combat Zone or a CZW Combat Zone Wrestling alumni. This is a phenomenal match. What are your guys' moves of the match?
Oh man, it's hard for me. So two quick ones. So Hart walks the ropes and then hits a Rana, but then there's a part where Penelope just starts going off. She hits the back handspring elbow, hits a huge cutter, and then a poison Rana, right? That backwards kind of hurricane where you spike them on their head.
Yeah.
All of that was just beautiful.
What about you, Jared?
Now, I see it might be something you're going to mention, too.
Oh, hit me.
So I'll just expand on it. Watching two of the same moves at the same time, the kick, the jump, it was just awesome to watch it in double.
Yeah, so the move that you're talking about, our move of the match, the moment where Penelope and Julia miss their stereo moonsaults. So, flipping off of the top rope, missing those moonsaults, missing an opportunity like that. I thought it looked phenomenal, and even if it was a spot where it was like, we want everybody to roll out of it, I thought it was phenomenal. This was a great match, and even though Penelope and Julia missed the moonsaults, Chris and Anna Jay end up running into each other anyways. There's two roll-ups. Julia Hart ends up tapping out on the submission move by Chris Statlander and wins 100,000 smackaroonies. Meanwhile, Julia Hart's cronies Thekla and Sky Blue attack Statlander. Queen Aminata and Tumelo come down the ramp. Is that Megan Bain? Where is security? They're worse than the WWE. Harley Cameron then comes out with a mask and a club with chains around it. Megan and Harley Cameron trade words, and Penelope Ford warns her it's just not worth it. Standing by the Don Callis family, Kyle Fletcher addresses the camera. He's facing Hiromu Takahashi from New Japan Pro Wrestling. If it's one of us or all of us, everyone dies. Backstage, Renee Paquette interviews Chris Statlander. Statlander throws more confetti. She had thrown confetti at Siobhan before the match started. Harley Cameron comes in and koalas on Chris Statlander. Harley has two suggestions on how to spend the money. A boob job. The Death Riders arrive. Damn right, Mox says. A compliment from Wheeler, but it goes nowhere. The shtick with Wheeler is that nobody likes him. That's nobody likes Wheeler Yuta. So I guess that's...
I get it.
Next up, we've got Juice Robinson, accompanied by Austin Gunn, versus Brian Keith, accompanied by Big Bill. Like, I looked at this. This was a 2-minute match. I think it was like 2.5, but it was a really quick one. So, do you guys have anything you guys want to talk about here?
I just love the spine buster. Big fan of the spine buster, right? Just pick someone up almost football tackle style, just slam them right down on their back. A lot of people have used it, right? And to make it look that good, while keeping it safe, right, is awesome. It got a great smack, right? It was smooth. That was my move of the match.
What about you, Jared?
I didn't, it was a quick match. I didn't have anything specific. But there was a line from the commentators that I wrote down that spoke to me and my discovery of AEW. It said something to the effect of, you've got to have friends in AEW. You got to have someone watching your back, and it really is true, because the people you bring out with you, they get a little involved. And that's going to lead to what made the next match or the final match really a lot of fun.
Absolutely, because in the ring, as Juice rolls up Brian and Brian kicks out of the pin, Juice starts screaming. It sounds like he's legitimately in pain. Austin Gunn attacks Big Bill outside of the ring and throws Austin Gunn into the safety railing. Big Bill ends up running straight into the railing after our Gunn rolls out. Juice hits a scoop slam on Brian Keith. 1, 2, 3. It's over. All right, Max Caster. Max Caster has an open challenge. The open challenge is that essentially he challenges the locker room for somebody to come out and survive 5 minutes with Max Caster. Usually Max loses. This is the gimmick. Max loses. He builds it all up. When I saw him at Dynasty earlier this year, I was like, I don't get what's going on here, man. But recently, Max Caster beat Anthony Bowen. Anthony Bowen recently, I wouldn't say recently, but in the past couple of years has come to prominence as a out male gay wrestler, which has been really phenomenal to see. You know, there have been guys, people specifically men in the locker room who haven't felt safe about their sexuality in the very hyper masculine world of professional wrestling. And so for Anthony Bowen to just be like, I'm gay, it doesn't matter, it's awesome, we love you, Anthony, keep it up. But he's being interviewed by Renee Paquette. He's a little disappointed by being defeated by Max Caster. He wanted this interview to be about him. He doesn't want to talk about Max Caster. I represent this company. I represent you. Clap, 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 clap your hands. Our main event of the evening here tonight is Nigel McGuinness, Daniel Garcia, Hechicero, and Lee Moriarty in the technical spectacle. Here is a quick summary of technical wrestling, which comes from catch wrestling, which came to prominence in English history during English history affairs of the 19th century. According to Wikipedia, the phrase catch as catch can reflected the improvisational nature of the style, where wrestlers utilized whatever holds they could catch on their opponent, with the primary goal being to make the opponent verbally quit by using grappling techniques, including holds and dirty moves associated with the American style at the time. This developed alongside Lancashire wrestling, which is from the north of England, and really helped to form the basis for modern professional wrestling that we know today. You have anything else you wanted to add, Connor?
Not specifically about technical wrestling. No, like, this match was awesome. It was the technical masterpiece they promised.
And let's shout out some technical wrestlers like Bryan Danielson, or perhaps like Kurt Angle, guys who use like legitimate shoot wrestling moves in their techniques as well. So just to give people some idea of what we're getting into, it's just a lot of awesome moves. Nigel McGuinness is so offensive, I can't even start. McGuinness, and he's English, and his finisher is called the London Dungeon. 26 plus 6 equals 1, folks. The uniting the 26 counties of Ireland in a united republic.
Of course.
Against the English. Lee Moriarty, a noted yinzer, comes out with the posse from Shane Taylor Promotions, but no one is allowed ringside, a second ref to patrol the outside. What are your guys' moves of the match here?
So it was, I believe it was Garcia and Hechicero. Is that how you say it?
I heard it as Hechicero.
Hechicero.
Yeah.
So there was a point where they were trading pins, and it literally got to the point where they weren't even paying each other. They're literally just rolling in a circle. Like, it made me think of like a Weeble Wobble, because they were just...
I loved that.
It reminded me of when Homer gets so excited he just starts spinning on the floor. That's what it reminded me of.
So for me, it was that, and there were multiple times that like all four of them were all locked up, where it's like, I have a submission on him, who has a submission on him, who was holding him, who's doing this, and they're all like yelling at each other to tap or not to tap. So there's like 4 moves going on at once in a pile of bodies.
They're playing Twister, essentially.
Literally.
I wrote down submission human centipede.
Mom, Google what human centipede is right now. My move of the match here is towards the end. Garcia and Nigel have Moriarty and Hechicero in different submission holds, which are broken up. Hechicero from behind the London Dungeon on Moriarty, but Garcia slaps Hechicero to break it up. My move of the match here, Garcia hits the sharpshooter on Hechicero. Moriarty in the London Dungeon, face to face. Lee and Hechicero hold on to each other in a show of solidarity. Moriarty gets stretched out and taps out. It's over. He tapped out. Nigel set to face Zack Sabre Jr. at Forbidden Door. Renee Paquette enters the interview. Nigel, all of these camera angles with him and Danny Garcia, what are they leading to? Nigel gets on one knee, he gives Danny his flowers, and Nigel asks Danny to be in his corner as he faces off for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. Any thoughts from our first week of AEW coverage?
Again, it felt very different. It felt not as overly produced. It felt a little more organic. Things felt more real, which was a really awesome change of pace.
Yes. My thought is, like, comparing to WWE feels really fatty around the edges. Like, if we're thinking about it like a steak, there's a lot of fat. Like, SmackDown was getting to, like, it was like a 3-hour show earlier this year. Both AEW shows are 2 hours, and they put a lot in that 2 hours. And I feel like you get a lot of different things going on. I feel like a lot of our complaints in the WWE were like, we're doing this again. We're doing like the same thing across 3 or 4 different characters. In AEW, it feels like we're doing different things. People have different things going on. It feels a lot more dynamic, in my opinion.
I totally agree. It's 2 hours, but it felt like it went by, like nothing. People have said it before, sometimes you watch a 2-hour thing and it feels like it takes 15 minutes. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you watch a 15-minute thing and it feels like 2 hours. It's a slog.
Yeah.
This was tight. It was over before I even fully realized it. It moved along beautifully, and it was just a joy to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. So, we'll be talking more here shortly about Forbidden Door, but we'll be back with more AEW coverage here on The C Show. Welcome back to the C Show, everybody. We're wrapping up here. We're talking about Forbidden Door on Sunday, August 24th. We just wanted to brief you all real quick on what Forbidden Door is, and then the run-through of the matches, and quickly talk about the Casino Gauntlet contract. So, Forbidden Door is a co-produced PPV between New Japan Pro Wrestling and AEW. Kenta, a New Japan Pro wrestler, appeared on AEW programming, and Adam Cole announced Forbidden Door in 2022. The event took its name from the same term often used by AEW when referring to working with other professional wrestling promotions. And then, since MJF and Athena are both executing their Casino Gauntlet contracts, the Casino Gauntlet is a modified gauntlet match where the winner gets a contract for a guaranteed title shot. It combines the action of a Royal Rumble with Money in the Bank implications for the winner. So the gauntlet features a maximum of 21 participants. The match starts with 2 wrestlers in the ring, and new entrants enter at randomly timed intervals. The match may end at any time by pinfall or submission, even if not all 21 participants have taken part in the match. Getting back to Forbidden Door, our first match is with the Golden Lovers of Kenny Omega and Kota Ibushi, Darby Allin, Hiroshi Tanahashi, and Will Ospreay versus the Death Riders, Claudio Castagnoli and Jon Moxley, the Young Bucks, Matt Jackson and Nick Jackson, and Gabe Kidd in a lights-out steel cage match. If that's how we're opening the show, hell yeah.
I don't know if that'll be the opener, but very excited about it. I'm always interested. There's always interesting spins, especially when they do the lights out element to it, right? I want to know if it's one of these things where it's like, is the steel cage, but escaping doesn't matter? Is it going to be pinfall?
Yeah.
How exactly are they going to cut it? And especially just because there's, what was it? It's 4-on-4, right? There's 5-on-5, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4-on-4. So 8 guys in a cage, all putting in work. Like, it's gonna go.
It's gonna
go.
And especially if it's lights out, are they gonna bring in weapons? Are they gonna do crazy stuff? Is it gonna go out into the crowd? Are they gonna do something similar to like the when the bodies hit the floor at Fyter Fest when they did that whole cinematic thing? So there's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of stuff happening there. Any thoughts, Jared? Moving on, we've got the Hurt Syndicate, Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin versus the Eliminator Tournament winners. So we'll have more about that after the Eliminator Tournament finishes up. But again, the Hurt Syndicate defending their title. Moving on, we've got Kazuchika Okada versus Swerve Strickland in a singles match for the AEW Unified Championship. So this isn't unifying all of the titles. It's that Okada has right now. It's unifying 2 of the titles. And that'll be really interesting to see where that ends up at the end of the day. Next up, we've got Timeless Toni Storm versus Athena. Athena executing her Casino Gauntlet Championship contract in a singles match for the AEW Women's World Championship. Don't say the wrong thing. Don't say the wrong thing. Don't say the wrong thing. Don't say the wrong thing.
Never mind then.
Okay, good. Excellent. Moving on. Next up, we've got the CEO, Mercedes Moné, versus Alex Windsor versus Persephone of CMLL versus a to-be-determined wrestler from Stardom. CMLL is a Mexican lucha libre promotion, and Stardom is an all-women's promotion in Japan. So that'll be a really awesome event there, and that match of these 4 women against each other. Next up, and that'll be a 4-way match for the AEW TBS Championship. So Dynamite is on TBS and Collision is on TNT. So those titles are respectively challenged for on those television networks. Because next up, we've got a singles match for the AEW TNT Championship. It's Kyle Fletcher versus Hiromu Takahashi of New Japan Pro Wrestling. Fletcher defending his title there. We did see a little bit of Fletcher recently. We haven't seen much of Takahashi, so that'll be interesting to see the star from New Japan Pro Wrestling. Just decided, it's Zack Sabre Jr. versus Nigel McGuinness with Daniel Garcia in a singles match for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championships. That's a belt from New Japan Pro Wrestling. So again, very interesting that these guys in AEW get to compete for those titles. We talked about it a lot, but we've got Cope and Christian Cage versus Kip Sabian and Nick Wayne, a tag team match. This will be the first time that Cope and Christian Cage have competed together since 2011, 14 years ago. What were you guys doing in 2011?
That is the year I graduated 8th grade.
I was a junior in high school.
I was a freshman in college.
Awesome. Fabulous. I hope people feel old. That was the goal of that.
I lied. I was maybe a senior in high school. I don't want to be that old yet.
Our final match that we're covering here is Hangman Adam Page versus MJF in a singles match for the AEW World Championship. MJF executing his Casino Gauntlet contract. I'm really excited for this one. I think it's going to be, it's going to have some. It's going to be an old school match with some new school flair. These guys who kind of combine both schools of thought, the old school and the new school. Hangman obviously being the babyface, MJF the ultimate heel. I think it's gonna be a thriller, one for the ages, perhaps.
Super excited for that.
Yeah, they're gonna get after it. Again, these two have been the guys, throughout the beginning of AEW, and now they're really thrust in the spot where it's like, okay, if it's yours, show us it's yours.
Yeah, no, and I think this is also a great time for AEW as well because they have an influx of fans coming in. Apparently, Dynamite was the most recent Dynamite on the 13th was the highest rated episode of Dynamite ever. So that's some really interesting news to see there. So we'll be here to talk more about it. Did you guys have anything else to talk about before we head out? Well, thank you again for joining us, staying with us here on the C Show. We know that this is a little tricky, and having you move back and forth can be a little tricky, but at the end of the day, it's about making cool stuff. We want to make cool shit, and we want to do it well and do it right. That's what it comes down to here on The C Show. Of course you like The C Show. Make sure to subscribe, rate, review, and share our podcast with your friends. Make sure to follow us on social media. We're on Instagram, Blue Sky, Facebook, and YouTube at C Show Pod. You have questions for the boys? Send us an email, cshowpod@gmail.com. Thanks to our friends, Amir and Patrick, for their assistance. The C Show is a production of 832 Media. Thanks again for tuning in, and we'll be back next week.
Cat.
Dun, 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 dun.